Shawnee Mission Superintendent takes the pulse of the district. Find out how he's reaching out to the community. Imagine getting to watch a video for your homework. We'll learn how a new instructional approach is helping students gain confidence in math. Art students from across the district connect with a professional artist who not so long ago was a Shawnee Mission student herself. And students are taking it to the streets to show their Lancer love. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. The idea of going an extra degree is an important one to Shawnee Mission Superintendent Dr. Jim Hinson. As he likes to say, at 211 degrees, you have hot water, but at 212 degrees, you are generating steam powerful enough to drive a locomotive. Dr. Hinson says achieving that extra degree is what will drive Shawnee Mission schools from good to great. And what better way to get ideas than to go into the communities that know the district best?
The process I'm going through now is to really listen to a lot of people, gather input to make sure we are appropriately preparing our students for the future. So we have to continually change the school district to keep pace with what's going on in society.
One of the first stops on Dr. Hinson's listening tour was in the heart of Overland Park. Students, parents, staff, and community members lined up under the clock tower to chat with the new superintendent.
Education is so important in Shawnee Mission, and having a new superintendent is really critical to how we proceed into the future.
You know, they're really great today to provide input, to say it's a great school district. We want somebody to take a fresh look at what we're doing, but we're really doing things well. Very, very welcoming, and so it's just a phenomenal reception today of people that are really interested in kids and certainly public education.
This was the first in a series of meet and greet events held in each of the district's 5 geographic areas. Not only did it give community members a chance to meet Dr. Hinson, but it also let him hear what was most important to them.
I would want him to know how deeply committed this community is to the quality and excellence of our local schools. It's important for him to know that the parents in this community are deeply involved, care a lot about not just the education, but all of the activities around our schools, and that he's got a lot of support in the community.
Well, I think continuing the excellence that we've had in Shawnee Mission, but also recognizing that the funding situation in Kansas is very difficult, and trying to maintain that excellence with dealing with funds that are available.
Seedless watermelons do not make good pickling.
In addition to meeting Dr. Hinson, those who stopped by the meet and greet were able to enjoy a cooking demonstration and free samples from Shawnee Mission's culinary arts students.
Myself, Chef Justin, and then Chef Bob brought a couple students along with us to demonstrate how to connect the farmers market produce and what we're doing at our program at the school. So today we are demonstrating a pickled watermelon rind and how to incorporate that into like an Asian style salad using all farmers market produce, which we also incorporate into the restaurant that we run at the Broadmoor Bistro.
But for Dr. Hinson, the important part of the day was taking the community's pulse when it comes to Shawnee Mission schools.
I'm really taking in information. I want to know what's on their mind. Things that are going really well, and I've heard about those things today, they just want to make sure are reinforced. And then other things they might have a concern about. And so the purpose of today is obviously to meet and greet, but to really hear what is on the mind of our parents and employees as well.
I wanted to meet our new superintendent. I'm excited. He seems like a really go-getter and someone who's committed to keeping our district moving forward.
Very, very welcoming, and so it's just a phenomenal reception today of people that are really interested in kids and certainly public education.
Even though the meet and greets are over, Dr. Hinson says community input is important, and the district will find other ways to continue listening. Up next, find out how educators are using technology to flip their classrooms and help students achieve.
the book I'm reviewing is True, Sort of, by Kathleen Hannigan. I like the way Deli, the main character, makes up her own words like hide oasis and sir present. This book shows you how a friendship forms and how fear is overcome by friendship. I love that Deli, Ferris Boyd, and RB have their own secret place just for them. This book has a lot of emotion, but it is a really good story. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars because it shows how Deli helps Ferris Boyd even though she is scared. You should read it.
Welcome back. Shawnee Mission educators are always looking for innovative ways to engage students. Now, some are finding success by turning classroom learning around.
And you need to watch video 3.1. When you're finished with video 3.1, I have a worksheet for you to do. So let's get to work. Put your headphones on.
This may not look like your typical math class. That's because these Shawnee Mission West students are taking part in a new kind of learning.
The flipped classroom model is different than the traditional model, in which it takes what would normally be done for homework and puts it in the classroom with the teacher, and takes the traditional lesson that the teacher would normally do at the front of the room and puts it on video for the students to watch at home.
Technology makes the flipped classroom possible by having students go to the internet to access their assignments.
Everything on there, she posts information about homework and maybe answers to like a review. And then she posts the video. You click on it and you watch it, and after that you have to click the turn in button, and then you have to respond to it. You say like, I like this video, and then, or it was hard.
Brogdon uses a web application called Edmodo to deliver the information and video lectures to her students that they then view and complete on their own time.
Edmodo makes it really easy because we can pause, rewind, and fast forward through the videos at our own pace. So if you miss something, you can go back and watch it, or if you need to jot down some notes, you can pause, and it makes it really easy for us to learn.
So it's been really, really nice, and the Edmodo site actually has helped with, they turn it in there and they have to write me a comment, and a lot of them have taken that to tell me, you know, example 2 on the notes was a little tricky. Could we go over that one again? Or I didn't really understand, you know, the diagram in example 4. So it really helps me be able to start off the class sessions before I put them in small groups with some examples that we need to go over as a class to really help things click and to turn that light bulb on.
Brogdon says not only are her students more confident working in the flipped classroom model, but they also come to class more prepared to put their new knowledge into action.
And then that way when they come to class the next day, we can do more partner activities, small group, I can differentiate some activities, and we can do more fun things in class.
Before I was pretty good, but then after these, having to go back makes it way easier, and I think I've learned a lot better. Like in one day, I can learn like what I learned in a week.
For adults who grew up in traditional classrooms, the idea of lectures delivered via video may seem a bit foreign, but Brogdon says her students have no trouble adjusting.
We've got 21st century learners, and technology is what they know. So we're really moving towards, we need to be feeding them with what, you know, they understand.
Brogdon says flipping her math classes did come with an unexpected challenge.
I've had to really kind of step it up in these videos. I can't just stand there and teach them, you know, monotone and that kind of thing. I've had to really beef it up a little, make it comical, make it, you know, funny for them. I've done some shout outs. I've worn a tiara in a couple videos, and those are the things that they actually notice.
Her students appreciate the effort and say that they like this new way of learning.
It makes it faster too, so you can move along way quicker without leaving anyone behind.
Then you can log out and let's work on a worksheet in partners.
High school students travel to Arkansas for inspiration. We'll find out where they went. Plus, a Shawnee Mission graduate and professional artist returns to share her knowledge with some of the district's top art students when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission returns. welcome back. Each year, the Shawnee Mission Education Foundation Breakfast features beautiful works of art created by students. This year, artists from Shawnee Mission South provided the pieces under the direction of visual art instructor Jennifer Hudson.
So this year we chose to do watercolor washes. Students were already really focused on line work and balance and focal point in class already, so we chose to kind of take that and run with it and create these more abstract but still kind of powerful small pieces of line work. And then the last part the students are doing is using gold, silver, and copper leaf to create more emphasis and more focal point.
The donations help fund things such as a special field trip for Shawnee Mission South art students to the Crystal Bridges Museum in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Kansas City has a wealth of art. They have the Nelson, they have the Kemper, they have the Crossroads District, which gives them great exposure. But Crystal Bridges, surprisingly, has such a good collection of American art, from contemporary to Norman Rockwell to Thomas Hart Benton, who's a Kansas City native. So we really wanted to give students a chance to be exposed to art that they normally wouldn't have.
In addition to the art students, some honors English students were invited to join the trip.
With the new curriculum that we are have been adopting over the course of the last year or so, the emphasis on visuals and different aspects of observation and analysis beyond just reading literature. I wanted to bring other elements of, we call it language arts, so I wanted to bring some other things into it as well.
I mean, there's a lot to be said for being in the classroom and being with a knowledgeable instructor, but getting to see these things you've been taught about in person, firsthand, has so much more richness to it than just being told about it or just being shown a slide about it.
Hudson says creating this year's breakfast centerpieces was a great way for her students to pay it forward.
Through our centerpieces this year, we can help fund some other awesome trips for other teachers.
Recently, some of the district's top artists were treated to a different type of inspiration. They got to meet professional artist Elizabeth Allen Cannon, a 2007 Shawnee Mission graduate.
So I'm just going to start off by showing you some of my early work from college, so you can see how I've progressed into what I am now.
First, the students got to know the artist and her work through a slideshow and lecture. They also got to ask her questions about what it is like to work as a professional artist.
She's very close in age to our students, and we just thought this would be nice for her to come in and sort of talk about her process, especially so early on with our AP kids. The group that is assembled today is all AP students from across the district. We thought it would be neat for them to see what it's like to be a working artist, where you get ideas from, and to see a body of work.
Next, she guided the AP students in creating projects of their own in one of her special areas, collage.
We're going to be working on using appropriated imagery to create some original artwork. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think a lot of really great things are going to come out of it.
The students watched as she created a collage out of clippings taken from things like coloring books, newspapers, and old magazines.
The really exciting thing about collage is that you can't necessarily control what you're going to get. It's not like drawing where you're starting from scratch and you're building something all your own.
The art students seem to embrace the experience.
We're doing some reaction pieces on her artwork and based on her, I don't know, style or experience. And I found a rocket, a flower, and a cartoon caricature. And so I'm planning on making Flower Power Rocket because that's what first occurred to me. Past that, I have no thoughts right now.
I thought it was interesting. I never really thought about doing collages before. So it's cool to see about what other art you can do with different mediums. I'm basically a pencil and paper kind of girl.
Now that she's turned her love of art into a career, Allen Cannon had some advice for these students.
I think it's really important as a young artist to align yourself with a mentor or at least a couple of people that can give you some solid direction as to the things you need to do to accomplish your goals.
The art students appreciated her advice, especially since it came from someone with whom they could so easily identify.
So it feels a lot more relevant to deal with her than some artist who's been doing art for a long time or from a different country. It just feels more connected to you.
I thought it was really cool, especially since she went to East. It's cool to see how people have gone from where we are now and how they've like gone through the whole art school experience, because I'm sure most of us want to go to art school. It's just interesting to see about the whole process.
Floats, decorations, and frenzied fans, all accompanied by a marching band. Up next, celebrating homecoming.
Hi, I'm Haley, and I will be introducing you to Bluefish by Pat Schmetz. Bluefish is about a boy named Travis. Travis lives with his grandpa, which is hard for Travis because his grandpa didn't really care for Travis's lost dog named Roscoe, but Travis did. Travis has moved to another home, so he had to go to a new school. As Travis goes to his new school, he meets a girl named Velveeta. Will Velveeta figure out Travis's secret? Oh yes, Travis does have a secret. Want to know more? Check out Bluefish in your school library. I rate this book 4 out of 5 stars for its most amazing plot and the wondrous dramatic characters in this book. I hope you like this book, because I did. Read it.
Welcome back. The homecoming parade is one of those traditions that has been around almost as long as high school itself. And again this year, Shawnee Mission students showed us that they really know how to share their school pride.
Well, it is Lancer Day, and every day is a great day to be a Lancer, but that's especially true on Lancer Day. It's a great day for everyone, for the community, for our students.
Lancer Day Parade begins in the parking lot at Shawnee Mission East and moves north on Mission Road. Seniors, seniors! Along the way, the streets are lined with current Lancers, past Lancers, and future Lancers, and even some who become adopted Lancers for a day.
Lancer Day is when we all just come out, we all rally together, support our school. Each grade and club builds a float.
They spend a lot of time and put a lot of effort into their floats, and it's just great for the morale of the school and the community as a whole.
The event ended a few blocks later with a giant pep rally in the parking lot of the Prairie Village Shops, where Mayor Ron Schaefer proclaimed it Lancer Village.
What a crowd! It's a great day for a parade, isn't it? And most importantly, it's a great day for Lancer Day Parade, right?
It's one of our biggest events of the year, really pumps everyone up for the games, and it's just the best thing at our school, I'd say.
What a fun time. Other high schools in the district showed their school spirit as well in parades held in their communities. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.